These Hardee's National Series drivers are going to be attacking the Lady in Black here for the first time this season. Cody Lamas on the pole is going to lead us down for the green flag here at Darlington. Side by side down the back straightaway, Kyle Bisaglia on that outside line trying to prove he's got a good car for the starting team. He's trying to do the best he can. And off of corner number 4, they are still side by side. Bisaglia leads lap number 1, and that's going to help that team a lot. That's going to maybe even give them an opportunity. Excuse me there. Apologies for that little cough. But yeah, Lamas already down to second just like that. John Arndt going to the second position if he can. But a lot of drivers are side by side near the middle of the field. Bobby Jones on the inside line there. Dylan Schwallenberg, couple cars nearly hitting the wall off of 4. Actually, a couple of them actually scraping that wall, getting their Darlington stripe just like that. Quick in the race. The battle for position here, Cole Deaver already off to a wonderful start in that 29 car for S3 Motorsports. Trying to get his car inside the top 5 for the first time this season. They haven't really had the best of luck or the best of speed, and they found some in Darlington due to a messed up qualifying session. Couple drivers still kind of reeling in on each other, and a lot of them are stacked up. Chris Dodd not running too well. He's running in the mid-pack range. A lot of big teams running near the back so far. Nick Mace taking over the 5 for this race. He's not running too well. And Zach Flickinger having some issues down pit lane, as they're going to put some tires probably on that 26, reporting they may have had something wrong with the battery. And aren't going for the second spot just like that here on lap number 4. And that is actually 5. Aren't with an aggressive move. And there you see David Culpepper, the winner of Charlotte from last season, trying to make sure that first win was not a fluke whatsoever and not pure luck, but by pure aggression and speed. Culpepper down the inside, trying to get that new team also with a proper advantage. Blue Flare still looking for a first win this season, any type of series actually. This could be crucial for them if they can get themselves up into this pack. They are currently having that 41 car running in third. And a great run for Alexander Rowe. As there's the Flickinger coming out of pit lane. Looks like he's going to be set a couple of laps down the race already. A tough start for the Yamp Motorsports machine, as he's going to merge right in front of the rest of them, as they're going to be racing hard. And there goes the number 4 and the 74. Both cars spin around. The caution is out for the first time, though that consists of Carmika Jazin and Robert Harrison in the 74. He's got some rear end damage. Jazin looks like he got a little big piece of that. More smoke up ahead, and it's Seth Cole in the 84 that has spun as well. The field's going to get themselves gathered around here. Kyle Bisaglia will be leading the field back with a massive lead here, and a great start for this 99 car. As we're going to take a look at the footage to see the contact between the 4 and the 74. A lot of it shows it right here. Jake West got into Robert Harrison, sending the 4 for a spin. Really, they just clipped each other, and those two just go for a minor spin. Really just some cosmetic damage done to the back end of the 74. Not too much harm for the titanium car of Jazin, but and it's going to be a tough ride for him, or her. Correction if I'm wrong, so... But yeah, it's going to be a tough break for those two early on, and we have to look at the Seth Cole incident. And this is way ahead of the wreck, though. Scott McCann turns the 84 into the outside wall, and Seth Cole was lucky he didn't really stall the car down the apron, so a close call for the 84 team. They're going to be able to get on going without much of a hassle. The 41 still is going to remain as the leader. Alexander Rowe leads him down. Green flag back in the air. Bobby Jones spun the tires there in the 6 machine for Martin Motorsports. Bisaglia going down to the inside immediately, but David Culpepper, Charlie Smith, as well as Schwalberg and Snyder, also making their way up. John Bunnell, driving for also another new team, making his way inside the top 10. The unsponsored car trying to get some good funding for that Chevrolet SS this could be good for them. Actually, it's an Impala, so... But there you see Emma White making her way up into the field. The number 90 of Blaze McKinney also in there as well. Good run for the 90 so far. Cody Lamas has dropped back a few positions as Luis Hernandez gets around the 34 with a bit of a slide job move there. And Bisaglia already up to second, now going for the lead. The Folgers machine has been extremely strong today. They are still racing very hard. Culpepper down the inside. A lot of Toyotas are actually running inside that top 10. Very impressive run for the manufacturing team there, especially. Charlie Smith trying to get that team up in some good positions here. You saw a bit of contact between the 41 and the 99, and that's going to set him up the hill there. Not good for Alexander Rowe, as Garrett Snyder gets around that 41. It's probably Sidner, but I like saying Snyder. Emma White going down the inside of the 41. The Red Stallion racing team has switched to Toyotas this season. It's going to be a hit or miss for this team. So we're probably going to have to see how well they're going to do within the Hardee's National Series team as well as their Sony Cup Series team. So this could get quite interesting for them, but Emma White trying to make her way up into the field here. As the caution is out on the racetrack, a massive crash. One car has flipped upside down. That is Lydia Rogers in the 42. There's James Richardson, Scott McCann, Daniel Conway collected there. Looks like Caleb Hoffman might have had a piece of that. Corey Williams with heavy frontside damage to the Puma racing machine. There's Casey Lester, lots of drivers there. The yellow flag is out, they are slowing it down, but a massive crash in the back half of the field has brought out our caution. And this is going to take a lot of controversy between the CM Racing team. John Art got hooked by Johnny Gardner, sending him up into the outside wall, nowhere to go for Milton Campbell. And there's Lydia Rogers gets plowed by Corey Williams. Everybody's on the brakes. There's a couple of titanium cars collected there. The 7, there's the 2 piling into the back of the 7. Rogers goes for a couple rolls on her roof, side by side, end over end for her. The number 7 I mentioned got a piece of that. That was a good looking scheme, to be honest. That was Carly McDowell there, so tough break for her. She was looking forward to getting a solid run in the Cal Tire Ford Mustang, but that is a lot of damage done to a lot of good race cars and a lot of good looking ones too, and that's going to end a lot of drivers' days, and they're going to be behind the wall and to the garage. And looks like there's going to be some problems here on pit lane, and Chris Dodd has blown the motor on the car. Something definitely broke on the 8 machine. That is a heartbreak for Chris Dodd, as if CM Racing's team could not just get any worse. There, see, looks like Cole Deaver might have run over somebody in the back there due to a pit lane stack up. But man, talk about just snake bitten here. The team already on a bad streak, with John Art getting wrecked by their own teammate, to be exact, with Johnny Gardner, and now the 8 car of Chris Dodd has now blown that machine up. Looks like something amiss on the 8 car. They're going to have to investigate the means of this, but that's going to put Dodd behind the wall. Coming to take the green, Zayden Davidson leads him down. Cody Lamas spins the tires yet again. It's been that second place car that has been spinning the tires, especially, as there you can see how drastic lap traffic's gonna get here, and how detrimental it can be to a lot of lead lap drivers, yet can be beneficial. It's a hit or miss for a lot of them, as Daniel Conway, Williams, and Flickinger. Well, it doesn't look like Flickinger actually has a beat up car, he's just literally off the pace because of mechanical issues. But they're holding up a lot of the inside line near the back of the pack. As focusing back up front, it is Zayden Davidson leading some laps here at Darlington, trying to get some good times in and maybe some good TV time for that 35 machine. The very store Ford there, doing a fantastic job. I think it's also another Titanium Motorsports machine, and I am right there. As Cody Lamas sitting in second, United Emirates Racing has been extremely close to getting a first win here with Angel Navarro in the 34 last season. So that 34 team has improved their program, and they are showing some good speed today. Nick Salmon running in the 3rd spot. Fuel Brothers Racing has kind of struggled in the Cup Series so far this season, but it looks like their Xfinity, or not really Xfinity, but their Hardee's team, to be exact, is slowly getting there. Bradley Bishop Jr. running inside the 4th position here, with Julius Anderson running in 5th for Shock One Racing, trying to get that program together. They've been off pace most of the season so far. as of right now, but right now there you see Matt DeLeo also closing in with the 40, 16, and 19. There's a 10-car battle, and there you see there's Kyle Basaglia, like we mentioned earlier. Very dominant car in the early half so far, and he's trying to get his way back up there. Davidson dropped just like that from first to all the way down to what I recall is going to be now the 8th position where he's at. Basaglia down the inside, you can definitely tell the difference between new tires and old tires here at Darlington. And especially not hitting that wall, Nick Mace has quietly made his way up inside the top 15. He hasn't really found much speed in the 5 car so far in race trim. Had some potential in practice, did not have the best qualifying run. And look where they are now, they're running 11th. Couple more drivers single file near the back of the line only because of lap traffic. That leads Charlie Smith, White, Jones, Dylan Schwallenberg, Wade Brummer, we haven't talked too much about. The number 9, I don't remember the name actually, so my apologies there. So, getting used to these new people around in the series. Let's see. But we'll talk about him a bit later. There's John Bunnell, we mentioned him a bit there, running inside the top 10, and Emma White nearly getting turned off by Bobby Jones there. As there was some aggressive racing, Emma White not too happy with the 6, making some brief contact between the two there. Wade Brummer's going to take advantage of the 6 up the track. Schwallenberg loses a spot to McCann. As there you see the number 84, Seth Cole, and Jake West also trying to catch that little pack right in front of them. But meanwhile, Johnny Gardner making a pass on Bradley Bishop Jr. for position here. As 33 passes the 39 with ease. Matt DeLeo and Nick Mace are going to try and pounce on that 39 here. A lot of inexperienced drivers in the series, but with a lot of veterans as well. Matt DeLeo is one of them. Nick Mace, another. As well as Zayden Davidson and Cody Lamas here. That's to name a couple of them within the field. Mason Gordon has not had the best of runs so far in the number 10 machine. Struggled to find some speed today. They're not running too well, and they are actually pretty solid in terms of points right now. So Mason Gordon trying to win that championship, and so far it's not helped with those in front of him. Garrett Snyder or Sidner. There's PJ Williams in the mix there, trying to get around Casey Lester and James Richardson all together there. There's the 41 we mentioned. Alexander Rowe with the strong car early on, not running too well at the time. But the field's trying to scatter themselves around as they have caught lap traffic. Caleb Hoffman getting held up with Basaglia right behind. As Daniel Conway holds up the inside line on Julius Anderson. That's going to put the 40 with an opportunity to get around the 38, but it does not look like that's going to happen whatsoever. Josh Crash trying to get up there. Josh Crash had some time in Martin Motorsports, I believe in the 66, and just didn't really find the luck they got. And now he's running within a Dodge team, which is kind of a rival team to the Martin Motorsports group, but Josh Crash is trying to get some seat time in the series here. So there he goes down the inside. Gardner's going to try and follow here. A lot of drivers picking that inside line. Mace is now going to be stuck up there behind Daniel Conway as Caleb Hoffman cuck blocks him down low. And that's going to give an opportunity for Emma White and Charlie Smith to catch them all together. This could be good for them, not good for Nick Mace. Mace does not want to see those lap cars to be exact, in the way, as that really does hurt the aerodynamics of the race car just because of air, how sensitive these Hardee's cars can get. And Emma White trying to peek underneath the 5 there. The 5 just still not finding the speed they've wanted. Maybe a good long run car here. Scott McCann for Shock One Racing, running very solid today in the NTB Dodge. Those Goodyear tires were really strong on that one car. Got some good stickers the other time around. And he's looking very promising. Scott McCann driving the same number that Jeffrey Lynn almost won the championship in last year. And Mace is now getting hounded by Emma White for the all-important 11th position, as White passes the 5 without much of a problem. Bunnell does the same thing. John Bunnell still with a very strong race car, surprisingly. Looks like they probably borrowed some motors from Mace Enterprises, got that affiliation partnership signed down for this race, and they want to make this race as special as they can. White going underneath Julius Anderson for position yet again. And White's on a charge like crazy. She's overtaken a lot of drivers here in the circuit. And she's looking forward to show how strong she can be in that Red Stallion. From what I recall, the Red Stallion car. But it's still Cody Lamas up to the point here with Nick Salmon in second. Still a good run for the 18 machine right now. Zayden Davidson sits in third, Josh Crash fourth, DeLeo fifth, Kyle Bisaglia in the sixth spot. Still an impressive run for the 99 team. Johnny Gardner sits in the seventh position, trying to get CM Racing a good finish today. And there you see Caleb Hoffman in the 8th spot, Bishop Jr. 9th, and Emma White rounding out your top 10 with John Bunnell sitting behind him at 11th. Battle for the 12th spot, Charlie Smith underneath Nick Mace, Scott McCann, and looks like Jake West and the others are going to try and do the exact same thing. Mace is just getting freight trained by several drivers here. Not really giving any mercy to those Cup guys because they do not want to see any Sony Cup whackers here in the field. As Justin Marks actually gets around the 5 machine. Castle Racing trying to get some good runs in as well. They were actually showed some potential last season with William Brock. And we know how Brock is at a lot of tracks. He's actually really competitive when he has the right equipment. And that 51 car can get up to good spots whenever it has the ability to. So we could see that 51 and maybe reach the top 10 at the end of this race. We're just going to have to wait and see. Nick Salmon did get around Cody Lamas for the lead, so Fuel Brothers Racing trying to get some laps winded down for lead laps today. He's going to lead lap number 37 out of 74 here. Actually, correction, it's going to be lap 36. Now it's 37. Miscalculation on my part. Cody Lama still sitting in second. Davidson in third. Bisaglia has moved his way up to the 4th spot. As there you see Josh Crash, Johnny Gardner, Caleb Hoffman, and Matt DeLeo still running together within a little pack. Emma White has reeled them in this time around. John Bunnell in the same boat. You're wondering, there's Nick Mace and Dylan Schwalmberg and the number 9 that I mentioned earlier. I still gotta look for that name. It's somewhere hidden. And that is, yeah, it actually is Blaze, that's not really Blaze McKinney actually. It's Colby Jackson. My apologies. Colby Jackson in the 9, Blaze McKinney in the 90. So that's actually a new team that I haven't really heard of much. The 90 not running too well so far for Roush family. Not to confuse it with Turner Fenway. So, as there you see Davidson getting around the 19 and the 18. That's a new lead change there. Davidson to the point. Lamas in second. And that puts Bisaglia up to third. Corey Williams are yielding high. He's just staying in the line he needs to be for the low line. It is pretty much the third line. And more cars in the wall. Near the back. Charlie Smith and Scott McCann, they made contact there. Gardner still against the barrier. And they hold on for dear life. Somehow they did not bring out a caution yet. As there you see Corey Williams still stuck on that outside line. Matt DeLeo, Nick Salmon, and Gardner still getting held up hard by the 19. They need to get around that 19 car as possible. The Puma Mustang very slow because of the no hood on the machine. And there goes West. West is in the wall. DeLeo coming down pit lane. And that is not what they wanted to see. No caution on the track. It looks like the field's still trying to get themselves gathered around. But Jake West has a lot of backside damage to the 21 Athenian Motorsports machine. They're going to have to put some repairs behind that, or else it's going to be a bit unstable in terms of aerodynamics, making the car a bit looser than it should be. Cody Lamas coming down pit lane here. Lots of drivers coming in. This time, green flag pit stops are kicking in here at Darlington. Though the question is, who will make a mistake? Who will get a speeding penalty in this run? As right now, it's Bisaglia and John Bunnell running inside the top 2 right now. Because they have passed Emma White. Bunnell going for the lead on the inside. Can you believe it? John Bunnell going for the lead. An impressive run. The crowd is on their feet. They can't even believe it either. An unsponsored car is going to be leading this race. Nobody thought so. And the caution is out on the track. I have no idea what happened. There might have been an accident in turn 3. Yes, there has. Corey Williams has crashed. James Richardson head on into the 19. And Davidson has piled in. The 35. Oh, Bradley Bishop Jr. just runs into the back of the 19 there. The caution is out on the racetrack. Bishop stuck on the track, and both the leaders have crashed. Kyle Basaglia and the 53 of John Bunnell crashed. Charlie Smith has been collected as well. I am at a loss of words right now. The top 2 in that race has just gotten wrecked by a stopped car on the track and due to simply lap traffic. And that's going to end a great night, or what was a great night, for Kyle Basaglia. Heartbreak here at Darlington. And into turn 3, Dylan Schwalmberg hooks the back end of the 10. Looks like maybe Mason Gordon might have tried to come down pit lane and probably came in a bit too late in the last minute. Schwalmberg couldn't receive the signal in time, and that's what brought out the caution. Watch Corey Williams. Bam! Hard into the back end of the 10, and that sends the 19 into the wall. The car's basically dead, and James Richardson, no place to go. Carly McDowell actually got a piece of that as the Puma machine sits on the racetrack. Not much harm done. Zayden Davidson hard on the brakes, committed to his line. Couldn't really do anything there. And Josh Crash gets sideswiped on the left side. And Bradley Bishop Jr. then piling in to the 19. Hard lick into the outside wall. Bishop Jr. sitting on the track. He's not moving at all. He didn't really do anything wrong. And then in a couple seconds, you're going to see the 2 leaders come into play. John Bunnell, bam, hard lick into the side of the 39. And Kyle Basaglia nowhere to go, and then you will see the 3 car come into play. Charlie Smith slamming into the back end extremely hard, as a lot of lead lap cars get taken out of this one, and a lot of dominant cars, to be exact, are going to be out of this race here as a result of a massive accident at Darlington. It is Emma White that will be leading the field down. Lots of drivers that were in that race got held up or were at the tail end of the lead lap when the caution came out, and that really ruined the pit cycle of many fast race cars here. And that's going to give a lot more drivers that were not running too well in the pack a chance of redemption and even a potential win, as it's Emma White leading the field down, Scott McCann in second, then you got the 3rd place car of the 51. Great job by Chase Marks there. Seth Cole, who spun earlier in the race, running inside the top 5. Good job for the Red Bull Racing organization. Bobby Jones running in 5th. Jake West 6th. Remember, he got back end damage to the wall. Colby Jackson in the 7th spot. Fantastic job for the Roush family racing team. Luis Hernandez has been quiet all race. He's running now inside the top 10. Consistency is key for the championship here, and just getting those points really does matter a lot, as much as getting a win. You just need to get the good points amount. You don't have to win races to win a championship, as Scott McCann has gotten around Emma White without much of a hassle, as Chase Marks is going to follow behind with Seth Cole in 3rd. A Dodge, Chevy, and Toyota round out your top 3, and soon be top 4. It's going to be Ford. All of these manufacturers showing some good diversity in the field, as they are still going to try and lap some traffic here. Cody Lamas is one of them right now, and they do get around that 34 without much of a problem. Scott McCann still the leader here, as we have reached the closing stages of this race. We still have plenty of laps left though of racing, but things can change within an instant. It's still Scott McCann's race to lose right now. After a lot of misfortunes from a lot of different drivers, it's been them now. Newcomers coming up into the field. Chase Marks on the bumper of the 1, trying to look underneath. Can he do it? He's looking low. He's going to give the 1 a bit of a bump here in turn 1. McCann slides up the hill, nearly hits the wall. Chase Marks going for the lead, and it's going to work here into turn 3. Can he hold on to it? Caution is out on the track. Is there any smoke? It involves Dylan Schwalmberg. They'll be racing back down towards the line. And it's going to be Chase Marks leading them down, and that's going to be a good opportunity for Nick Salmon, Anderson, and Hoffman to get themselves back into a chance of winning this race but it's Chase Marks leading the field down for the caution flag. Dylan Schwalmer got turned by David Culpepper off of corner number 4, putting the 14 into the inside wall. A minor spin and a minor crash brings out our caution here yet again at Darlington. The lady proving that she is extremely tough to tame today for these Hardee's drivers. Green flag back in the air. Chase Marks still holding on to that lead here. It's lap number 56 out of 74. Time is running out for a lot of these Hardee's drivers here. Scott McCann still getting held up on the bottom lane. Actually in the top lane, stuck up there from lap traffic. Zach Flickinger, Matt DeLeo, Cody Lamas, they're going to have to get around that 51 if they want to get themselves back on the lead lap, and this could be good for those on the lead lap. Jake West going on the inside of Seth Cole for position here. Bobby Jones pushing that 84 up high. Seth Cole still holding on for that third spot. Bobby Jones now stuck up on the high line. He's up the hill. He gets passed by multiple cars here. Once you're stuck up high, there is no turning back here at Darlington. You could hit the wall too. Especially, just as you saw with Jake West, he smacked the wall off of corner number 2. Pretty good, but not too bad. But Scott McCann's running in second. And there's the 84, Seth Cole. Talk about a good recovery. We mentioned him. He got involved in a wreck earlier on in the race, and he's running in third now. Colby Jackson has avoided all the trouble. He's running inside the top 5 right now. And there is Wade Brummer. We haven't talked too much about the 15 machine for Bobby Racing. The Federated Auto Parts Ford Mustang looking very solid in race trim. Not the fastest, obviously, in the track, but he's got the potential for a solid top 10 effort today. Garrett Snyder has been pretty quiet in the field today as well. He is now inside the top 10, following the 41 of Alexander Rowe. Blue player trying to get a good finish today as well. Cole Deaver is now running inside the top 10, but that's probably going to be over now with Luis Hernandez raining down his parade. And it looks like they're reporting that Hood is probably hurting that 29 in terms of straightaway speed. But it doesn't look like it's going to hurt Deaver too badly, but he's got to depend on lap traffic to actually gain some positions. Chase Marks still holds on to the lead. He's got multiple laps to hold on. This is his race to lose, and Colby Jackson smacks the wall hard off of 2. Garrett Snyder does not peek underneath the 9. He's going to wait and see if he can make a move later, but Alexander Rowe takes a great opportunity there. Classy act by the 41 team. And we know how determined this team can get in terms of trying to wrap things up. They've been close so many times. We saw what happened in the Cup Series with Sean Perkins. Perkins was furious on the radio after the race as Colby Jackson yet again smacking the wall out of turn 2. He's definitely found his Darlington stripe. But right now, Chase Marks still holding on. DeLeo, Flickinger are lap cars. They are in the way of Scott McCann. Unless McCann can do something, he needs to get those lap cars to either be a potential pick or he's just got to get around both of them. And I believe he's going to go with method 1 here. He's going to see if the 92 might make a move on that 51. And here he comes down the inside underneath Chase Marks. Marks is going to be extremely unhappy with this maneuver by the 92. As here comes Scott McCann. This is a grand opportunity. Marks holds high in the high line pretty strong. Out of 4, he holds his ground. And DeLeo coming into 1. That's where the dominant line kicks in. The inside line there. And McCann is pulling away. He's got plenty of time left as Chase Marks nearly hits the wall for turn 2. Seth Cole now up to the 2nd spot. What a grand run for a lot of teams here. A lot of underfunded teams are actually trying to do solid today. Colby Jackson has found definitely a lot of Darlington stripes today. He's hit the wall pretty hard twice, especially at a turn 2. Bobby Jones getting underneath the 9 machine. So has David Culpepper and Cole Deaver alike. They're going to team up and get around him without much of a hassle. Carly McDowell lap traffic in the way. McCann goes low. And that's going to help him quite a lot here if lap traffic plays a role for the 41 and those behind. And looks like Rowe's going to follow on the inside line. Marks does the same thing. But now they have caught Daniel Conway More lap traffic in the field here. This is going to bring up and set up a bigger car pack of a massive wad of cars to be exact. Are going to actually catch this field as Luis Hernandez is now closed in. Contact near the back. And there goes Cody Lamas in the wall. David Culpepper spins around. He's sideways and he doesn't get hit. The caution is out with just a few laps to go. Can you believe it? A caution's gonna come out and this could be interesting. Not what Scott McCann wanted to see, but at the same time this could be good for him because of the lap cars right in front of him, or right behind him to be exact, 3 of them. If they pit, then this could be a race for Alexander Rowe to attack. And Bobby Jones just shoved David Culpepper down the track right into the path of Cody Lamas and Wade Brummer. And that's what set the 78 sideways. Luckily nobody hit him and the car kept on going, but the caution is out yet again. Here at Darlington, tough break for David Culpepper. Was having a solid effort here. And now it looks like it's going to come to a close. They're going to have to manage and salvage a good finish here if they're going to have to. Scott McCann's going to have to bring back the W here for Shock 1 Racing. He's got 3 laps to do it here, as the green flag is going to fly here. Actually 4 laps to be exact. But Scott McCann has a great restart. Remember, lap traffic is in the way here. Gardner gives room. He knows that Rowe and as well as Marks and Cole have a shot at getting the W here. Matt D'Elia going down the inside of Flickinger. There's the 41 following on Toad. Look at Alexander Rowe. He's trying to get on a flyer here. And the caution is going to fly. The race is going to be over. Scott McCann takes the yellow flag. And it is a multiple car crash. The 90 of Blaze McKinney is upside down. He is sideways. And Bobby Jones is involved. Nick Salmon. Looks like Dylan Schwalmberg selected, as well as Daniel Conway, and much more. Cars smoking in the back, and that is Carmichael Jazin. Talk about a tough break for a lot of drivers. Caleb Hoffman was having a good run. His race is going to come to an end, as well as Colby Jackson. But Scott McCann is the leader, as we're going to have a replay to see that final wreck that has brought our final caution of the day. And wow, something definitely weird happened. They were trying to come down pit lane. And wow, he just got ran over by Colby Jackson. Hoffman did. And the field just trying to slow down. Carmichael Jazin, everybody on the brakes hard. And there's the 90 of Blaze McKinney. Watch him get hit hard. Gets hit by Mason Gordon. And then the number 2 of Conway. And goes for a series of rolls. Side over side. End over end. Thank goodness for the roll bar here. The roll cage. In these machines, and Blaze McKinney reported he was okay. Even the crew chief and the spotters already were notified about it. But Blaze McKinney, thanks to the safety of those race cars, he has climbed out just fine. And it is the final lap. They will be coming towards the checkered flag this time around. Scott McCann, there's the 51 blowing up near the back. And that's not going to be good for Chase Marks unless he can get that car across the line. But Scott McCann is going to win this race. Under caution. Talk about anticlimactic for some of the fans here. Definitely not what they wanted to see. But Shock 1 Racing finally getting another victory this season. This is going to be their first one, actually. Another victory for the team. This is going to bring up their self-esteem yet again. Remember, Jeffrey Lynn won in the one machine at Texas Motor Speedway. And a wild finish with Sean Harple. But right now, Scott McCann is going to be declared the victor here. Alexander Rowe is going to end up just short today with the second place run. Seth Cole with the third today. There you saw the 51 coming down pit lane. He actually crossed the line in 4th. Spectacular run for them. Luckily, he didn't get pulled off. Garrett Snyder's going to get a top 5. Luis Hernandez in the 6th spot. And there you see it, White 7th. Williams 8th. Deaver with a great, fantastic run for the S3 team. Running in 9th there. And then you got Wade Brummer in 10th. Great run for the Bobby Racing team. The results will be posted in just shortly though, but congratulations to Scott McCann on winning the Darlington race under caution in a wild manner here. We had a ton of flips and wrecks here that took out a lot of good drivers. As their races were done, but a new victor rises here. Another new star. puts it in victory lane.